Hello Instagram, how's it going? We have an exciting Instagram live session today to support you folks in developing and mastering your e-commerce businesses. We've been developing these sessions over the past weeks to support and educate merchants as much as possible on e-commerce and the best practices that you should abide by to launch a successful business and manage it properly. Hello everyone. Welcome to the session. Hello. Hello everyone joining us. Hi Charbel.
Hey Malik.
How's it going, man? All good?
Hello. All good.
Cool.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, man. Thank you for your time. So to kick off the session, man, this session under the Breaking E-Commerce Academy is part of the series we're putting together to educate merchants on the e-commerce best practices to successfully sell and grow online. And today's topic is on how e-commerce businesses can use outsourcing to scale, which is a very important topic that we've been receiving requests for, especially with many businesses shifting to e-commerce and to the digital version of their business, and them not having exactly the skill sets. So outsourcing is a topic that they hear a lot, and this is why we are having you with us today. Charbel, can you please go ahead and introduce yourself to our audience?
So hello everyone that's watching, and Malik كمان انت والاي-coms team يعطيكم الف عافية على Breaking E-Commerce Academy. I've been watching you, and the topics have been super interesting so far, and I hope مع كل هلا اذا بدنا نسميها الترند اللي ماشيين فيها بالاي كوميرس، انه كل العالم عم تجرب تنقل تفتح شيء بالاي كوميرس اتسترا، انه اي هوب عم نقدر عم تقدروا عن جد تساعدوا العالم انه تفهم الكالتشر اوف اي كوميرس better، لانه there are so many opportunities فيها انه العالم are really this is the time actually to become part of it. يفتح واحد ستور تبعه، يجرب يبيع هلا شيء بيبيعه هو بالعاده على الاي كوميرس، وحتى اذا ما كان يبيع اصلا الشخص، now it's the time ليبلش يفكر بشو الاشياء اللي بيقدر يبيعها، يطلع حواليه هو بالسراوندينج تبعه، بالكوميونتي اللي عنده. اذا واحد امه بتشتغل مونه، سته بتشتغل مونه، عنده حدا بالعائله، اذا هو عنده حدا بخيط، عنده حدا بيشتغل ارتيزانا. It's not always about selling TVs و PlayStations etc. It's about the small things all the way to the big things مثل ال home appliances and everything else. So and I just want to say this is interesting to see كل هال e-commerce businesses بلبنان that are really charging ahead. يعني مش بس عم بيبينوا كثير، عم بيبينوا اكثر من كل البقوه بالريجن، قديش هن عم يفشخوا فشخات كبيره وعم بيكونوا pioneers in the e-commerce industry. They're introducing new things just like you are e-coms. انه one of the startups اللي عم بتنحط دائما وجهها بوجه شوبيفاي، انه عم نعمل comparison عليها. So يعطيكم الف عافيه. My name is Charbel Karam. I'm from B.O.T او الهاندل تبعنا let's B.O.T.io. So I'm the business development and marketing manager, and basically what I do is I support our startup and our business in getting the word out about what we do, and especially building a culture around outsourcing, just like you are building a culture around e-commerce. So I think سوا نحن we form a good team.
Cool. Thank you, Charbel, for joining me today in the session. To kick things off in our agenda for today, we know that outsourcing has been a term that is heard of a lot in the community, especially for online businesses. So what is really outsourcing?
Okay, so first of all بس نقول لكل العالم اللي عم يسمعونا صرنا 13 لهلا، and إذا عندكم هلا شيء على الكومنت بوكس you can add it and we'll try to answer it. وأصلا إذا بتعرفوا شيء عم نسأل بيسألني إياهم مالك، قادرين تسبقوني على الجواب. please go ahead ونجرب نعمل سبعة عليه. So outsourcing is not a new thing. كنا قبل نعمله من دون ما ننتبه، الشركات من زمان بتعمله. Outsourcing basically بالدefinition تبعه هو using a third party service أو شخص تاني أو شركة تانية لنعمل core function بالشركة. مرات بتكون core function ل our daily business، مرات بتكون core function لل overall business process تبعنا كشركة. بس دايما بنستعمل فيها شركة تانية أو شخص تاني لنقدر نعطيها.
I see. طب is there a specific time that a business should start considering outsourcing earlier ولا later in the business?
Look, ميشيل مرقدة من الفنار كتبت بلوج بوست مش من زمان انه الشركات usually بيشتغلوا بالقلب، ببلشوا يوظفوا بعدين بيوصل مطرح انه خلص مش قادرين مع نوظف let's start outsourcing لانه مضطرين نخفف موظفين. while if you start and you scale بالقلب you start outsourcing وبعدين بس تحس انه الفانكشن صار بدها حدا يكون موجود حدك تعيط له من المكتب للمكتب يجي يعملها للشغله then you start hiring. So there's no such thing as too soon to outsource or too late to outsource. There's always what you feel is best for your business and not always. يعني الفرق بين ما انت اذا فتحت الشركه تبعك اليوم ولتلاقي الشخص تتوظفه وليقدم استقالته اذا هو بيشتغل اوريدي وليفوت لعندك وتعمل له كونتراكت وانا اس اس اف تبعه اتسترا، اخذتك العمليه around is minimum 2 months بين الايتو والانترفيو اتسترا. while when you outsource it's the next day or in a couple of days او in a week اذا it's a complex job. So basically element تبع the time factor بيلعب دور كتير كبير especially nowadays where competition is high. واذا انت اليوم نمت وعيت بكل كومبيتيشن تبعك تضل سهران كل الليل عم يخلص هو الشغله وحتى وسبقك وعلى الستاندرد.
I understand. You know, for e-commerce businesses, man, there's a lot of outsourcing that they can do for their tasks, especially daily tasks that they face. It could be photography, I guess, product listing, the content that they have. So how can they make sure that they nail the process every time they want to outsource?
Okay, so basically إذا بدي أرجع مظبوطة الأجندة it's بنحكي شوي عن product listing قبل ما نفوت بالoutsourcing. Before you start outsourcing your product listing, what should your product listing look like? لما نحكي product listing especially بالإيكوميرس أنا بحب أقسمه لثلاثة factors اللي هو factor الصورة، factor التكست، وفاكتور كل شيء بيصير بالباك اند تبعه. سو بيسكلي الاس اي او، الداتا اللي بتدخل فيه اتسترا. سو بيسكلي بس نقسم هدول الثلاثه بنطلع عنها. اول شيء عندنا بالبرودكت ليستنج صوره، and it's super important انه الصوره تكون good quality. اكيد هدول القصص ما بقى نعيدهم 100 مره، يعني لازم تكون good quality تبين البرودكت فيه واضح، يكون فيه قد ما فيها تكون الصوره مرتاحه حواليها، يكون isolated. اور اذا تياب definitely اذا ماركه تياب افضل 100 مره انه تستعملوا موديل لابس التياب ولا انه نحط التياب هيك ملوحين على الارض. So basically it's all about understanding your product and showcasing it in the best way possible. And what that means is using the best tool ليتصور. So basically you can use your camera phone or you can use a professional photographer. It doesn't matter. بس the surrounding تبعه الانفايرمنت هو اللي بيبين على السوشيال ميديا. تاني شيء بدي احكي عنه هو التكست. التكست sometimes اللي عنده اي كوميرس بزنس بيفكر انه انا بدي ابين على جوجل، سو بدي احط قد ما فيي دحوش على السي اويات وكيوردز بقلب التكست لا كيف ما ينبشوا علي يلاقوني. What you end up with is a bad customer experience. لانه بفوت الشخص لينبش على مج بيلاقي red mug cheap big small size، ما بقى بيستوعب شو معناته للكتيبه. Keep it simple. Your keywords does not have to be in the description in the title of the product. في يكون باللونج ديسكربشن، في يكون بالشورت ديسكربشن، ايفن في يكون بالميتا داتا. جوجل من ناطر التايتل اللي انتم بتشوفوه واللي بيشوفوا الكلاينت تبعكم ليحدد اذا هيدا الشيء منيح. بالعكس جوجل بيوطي لكم الريزلتس تبعكم اذا الكلاينت doesn't have a good experience, and this is important to note للكل. So basically having clear titles لكل شيء بتكتبوه is very important. تاني شيء اللونج ديسكريبشن والشورت ديسكريبشن. اذا بتطلعوا من برا على البرودكت usually بيكون في a couple of sentences or a couple of words عن البرودكت بتفسر دغري هو شو. This is different from the title. Once you click on the product بنفوت على محل تاني بنشوف a longer description. Sometimes بنشوف معهم review, sometimes بنشوف معه stars اذا قد ايه العالم حبته كريتنج او لا. It's different things and it's very important هون التركيز لانه long description والshort description والميتا داتا هن اللي اكثر شيء بياخذوا وقت to develop. And doing this on your own sometimes if you have lots of product and lots of inventory عم بفوتوا يطلعوا and you have a small team, this is very hard to do and actually it's a waste of money لانه انت بدل ما تكون عم تقضي وقتك عم تعمل الشيء اللي عن جد لازم تكون عم تعمله focusing on shipping, on a good customer experience, etc. You're spending time developing something that you could easily outsource من دون ما تكلف كثير عليه. So ثالث شيء which is the data behind it. The data أنا بقول كمان بسميها layout data لأنه data هي الصور والتكست بس the way that you choose to showcase them is be it thumbnails يعني product A B C D E F G حد بعضهم or is it A B C D. It's very different and it's also based on your product لأنه the way that you showcase them, if you're showcasing them horizontally then it requires a lot of information لأنه عندك space كتير كبيرة لتكتب بقلبها. So فيك تحط انت usually this is used for things that need more description and more details مثل TVs, PCs, mobile phones, stuff that people are actually want to invest the time to check their specs ويشوفوا كل شيء فيهم. While thumbnails are more used in fashion and in retail and in cosmetics لأنه all you want to do is see the aesthetics behind it and one picture is enough to show you everything. While mobile phones كلهم بيشبهوا بعضهم واللابتوبس كلهم بيشبهوا بعضهم. So unless you can see the specs ما بتقدر تفهمهم. A simple rule to follow دايما بس تكون عم إذا بنحطهم thumbnail view أو cascaded view أو list view is the product. إذا كل البرودكت تبعه بيشبهوا بعضهم أو في similarities more than 50% always go for a horizontal view. وإذا الصورة لحالها تقدر تكفي إنها تفسر على البرودكت without the need to go into the text كتير then go for a thumbnail view.
Interesting. I see, man. The thing is, I think these, tips are very important to make sure that you're, from an SEO perspective, and from a user experience perspective, you are achieving milestones to make sure you're achieving your KPIs for an e-commerce business. What's the difference between outsourcing and in-housing this product listing?
بيبقى الفرق هو بالشخص اللي عنده الاي كوميرس بزنس. يوجوالي اذا بتطلع بشخص عم بيعمل اوت سورسنج versus someone عم بيعمل ان هاوسنج للاي كوميرس let's say e-commerce core business items اللي عنده اياها. يوجوالي شكل الشخص اللي عنده ان هاوسنج بيكون تعبان وهيز داون وعنده كثير شغل وكثير ستريس والشغل ما عم بيخلص. الفرق بين الشخص اللي عم بيعمل اوت سورسنج بيكون اكثر شكله مرتاح. And the reason why is that outsourcing was created to relieve the stress ويريح الانسان اللي عم بيشتغل. So basically انت شغلك as a CEO of a company or a marketing manager or a product manager is to get the product, to get people to buy, to expand your business حسب الكور function تبعك. Your business is not following إذا هذا البرودكت نعمل ووتر مارك للصورة أو ما نعمل، إذا ما عملها editing وكروبينج بطريقة تكون مناسبة للحجم الثامنة اللي هي موجودة فيها أو لا، إذا long description و short description are abiding by the keyword process اللي أنت حاططهم. All of these you need to put once and just have them as a sheet and rules, and there are other people to follow these rules. This is not a rule book for you. And this is not for you to hire employees تدفع لهم minimum of $500 per month ليقعدوا يكون عندهم نهار كتير شغل، نهار ما عندهم شيء، نهار هيدا. This is why you need to outsource these things to experts. Experts شغلتهم that to know these things and get you the quality service that you need without you having to worry إذا هذا الشيء عم نعمل مزبوط ولا لا and having to follow up مع الامبلويي تبعك إنه deadline تأخر أو ما تأخر. It's the outsourcing companies job to do all of these things. So be it you choose in-housing or outsourcing, and I don't say it انه كل الوقت outsourcing is good. If you're a niche a boutique business, عندك مونة تبع تيتا وخالته والماما وعم بتبيعهم وعندك بيطلعوا كلهم سوا اقل من 100 product, definitely don't outsource. It's gonna cost you a lot, والوقت اللي بدك تكتب فيه الرولز بتكون انت عملتهم وخلصت. But once you achieve more than 100 products and a lot more products to showcase, that's when you need to start outsourcing.
I understand. This is one of the advantages for outsourcing. Any other advantages that we should keep in mind?
Definitely حكينا فيها قبل شوي اللي هي reduction of time. So time انت that you're spending on developing these things, which is somehow not a core function to you, to who you are. You can be spending this time on actually developing الشغل اللي انت عندك اياه and leaving these small things that are actually very important, but they are small and they take up a lot of your time. So, and second of all, it's managing your cost. لأنه it's super expensive to do it in your with your in-house team. التيم اللي كلهم جايبهم انت اللي يعبوا مطارحهم ويعطوا شغل هن على مستوى. It's not. Sorry, I got a phone call.
Charbel, I think we lost the audio.
بعدني معك?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, so basically focusing on these things لأنه they are expensive to do it. إذا حدا متشغله بتقول له مثلا أنت هلا شوي وقتك مرتاح خليك تعمل هدول, and then the stress of doing this thing and not knowing if what they're doing is right or wrong. لأنه sometimes you think that this is right. Sometimes إنه okay كتبت long description كتبت short description وكتبت title, everything seems okay, but there are a set of rules and there are experts that you can outsource to. هن بتكون شغلتهم يفهموا هدول كلهم. So definitely this is something to consider once you get your online business up and running and you have the amount of products that are needed لتبلش تشتغل مع an outsourcing company. It's something to think about. إنه ما بدك تشتغل شو ما كان, ما بدك تشتغل كيف ما كان. You need to get a quality product out there, and the quality product starts with the quality data behind
and
it.
We said earlier that there isn't really a right time or a wrong time for you to start outsourcing. So it depends on your current state, how loaded you are at work, and what is the quality that you'd like to deliver.
Look, I have one tip للكل دائما بقول لهم اياها. You shouldn't know إذا أنت you should outsource or not. But what you can do as a business, and this is my advice, find an outsourcing partner. Find some company that outsources. وجيبهم واسألهم. لأنه if the job is too small, هن حيعطوك التبس حتاخدهم أنت وحتستفيد منهم بدون ما تدفع لهم. But at the same time, it will help you get a better results and a better outcome. مالك اختفيت أنت.
Can you still hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Something.
جرب عربش لعندك. ما عم بقدر.
It's weird. Can you see me now?
Yes, you're back. So basically, not that I didn't enjoy the blurry screen, بس إنه وجهك أحلى. So basically اللي عم بقوله إنه get them on board. Ask them if the job is too small and too tiny, they will tell you that we won't take it, but you can achieve better results by doing 1, 2, 3. And if the job is big and they can offer solutions, they will tell you how much you will save by the cent. And you will get to see time والefforts تبعك حيبينوا قديش الفرق بينهم. They will show you real life exercises.
So what is the typical outsourcing process then?
So the typical outsourcing process بلشت فيها. It's first finding the outsourcing partner, which is إنه فيكم تبلشوا معنا, and then بلش get the conversation started. So basically بلش أحكي معهم لأنه هن حيكفوا البروسس لأنه هن بيعرفوا فيها. So first you need to find the right people, and by the right people I do say إنه لازم يكون عندهم the experience that you are looking for. So basically, if you're an e-commerce business, you need to find a company that has previous experience in doing e-commerce, or they have the know-how of their startup. يعني عندهم التيم اللي قادر يلبي هدول النيدز. So مش ضروري دايما الشركه كلها سوا. If it's a startup, don't judge it by its look. إذا التيم تبعها اللي جايبينهم عندهم e-commerce background, then they're also good to go. Second of all, you need to find the right chemistry. لأنه having an outsourcing partner is like having a temporary partner in life, and if the chemistry is not there, you won't enjoy the process, and the process should be enjoyable. And third of all, and the most important is always bargain on the price. No, this is a service at the end of the day. So بالنهاية إذا أنت حسيت السعر اللي قدم لك proposal it is expensive and more than you can afford, you can always speak up and say that I don't have this kind of budget now. So what can we do with a smaller budget? So it's always give and take when it comes to outsourcing, because it's a service provision at the end of the day.
And for example, let's say when someone would send, for example, B.O.T a request for an outsourcing service, هيكون في different prices with different qualities that can be received depending on who is working on the project.
Yes, اكيد حسب الكميه تبع الناس. So basically هو let's say you have a product listing. خلينا نحكي عن example لل-e-commerce. If you have a product listing job and you need people on board, so basically what is done is that if you have a short amount of time that you need to do this in, and your deadline is very short, then you will end up paying a bit more. لأنه الفرق إنه حتكون عم تدفعهم على 4 أشهر عم تدفعهم بجمعة واحدة. But this is also feasible. So دايما it's by the cost of one thing. بس كل ما يكون الديدلاين shorter كل ما تكون أغلى البروسيس عليك.
I understand. Charbel, do you have any specific tips for someone who is running an e-commerce business and is planning to outsource today?
Definitely, my tip is that now is a good time, is the best time actually to go for it. لأنه the culture اللي كنا ناطرين بعد 6-7 سنين لتبلش to develop جبرتنا الكوفيد 19 إنه نعمرها ب3 أشهر. So now not only our clients are more ready to shop online, the retailers are more ready to go online as well to meet their clients there. So قبل كنا لما نحس إنه العالم بدهم ينبشوا على كتير محلات بمطرح واحد, then we came up with a mall. لما حسينا إنه العالم they want to do window shopping قبل ما يبلشوا يفوتوا على المحل, we created windows. قبل stores ما كان عندهم front. And the need is changing, and اللي وصلنا له اليوم بالمحلات وبالريتيل was not the case 15, 20, 30, 50 years ago. So now is actually the trend. And I take always ABC because I'm a previous ABC employee and I love them. انه بلشوا بالتقريبا 1940 and they opened up a very small store و they followed the trend ever since. So بلشوا كانوا one of the first اللي كانوا بدهم عندهم department store, and then they moved to a bigger space مع common spaces و public spaces, public areas, because that was the trend abroad. So basically كان كل العالم they were apprehensive انه يستثمروا بABC لانه ABC كانوا خوت وعم بيلحقوا trends من برا, but they actually made it and they are where they are today. And this is actually a great example انه دايما you need to follow the trend and you need to meet your client's expectations, even if your client does not know that this is their expectation. So basically إذا عم تفتح store, online store, ما تفتح حيلا online store. This is my second tip. افتح a good online store. Have quality images, have quality text, have a quality data. جرب اعمل كل شيء عم ينعمل اعمله بطريقه مضبوطه, and don't go for a cheap model of doing things.
I understand. Thank you, Charbel, for these tips, man. And we're going to open now the Q&A section of the session. I'm going to start off with a question we received before the session, actually. But please, anyone who has been watching us so far, please make sure to drop us any questions you have so we can ask Charbel throughout. Charbel, we received a question before the session on when is the right time for us to pay the freelancers, and how should we pay them? You mentioned earlier that it's better to work directly, and you have the options to work with the agency or a team that manages freelancers. So how does the payment process go through these agencies? And if we are working directly with freelancers, what is the best way to do it?
Look, working directly with freelancers definitely has its challenges, just as working with an agency that manages freelancers. But basically, when you're working with a freelancer that decides one day that he got up and doesn't want to work anymore, or he gets sick for a couple of days, or has an immediate flight that he has to catch, or anything that could happen, but also it always puts your job, your outcome at risk. While an agency would be able to compensate هذا الإنسان لأنه بيكون عنده a bigger pool of people. So paying be it the freelancer or the agency, my advice is pay half. So go for half at the beginning and half at the end, because also be it the freelancer or the agency has a right to feel secure about the work that he's doing, وإنه المعاش اللي at least قبض نصه وما حيوصل لآخر المطرح منه قابض شيء. وانت كمان as a client تقدر تكون مرتاح انت فيها، وانت عم تكون عارف انه حقك مضمون وواصل للاخر.
I understand. We just received a question, Charbel. So what services can we outsource with B.O.T?
So you can outsource إذا السؤال هو عن كل شيء ولا بس عن e-commerce. عن كل شيء you can outsource a whole lot of services for digital, from data management, data entry, data collection, doing online surveys or offline surveys, be it e-commerce or AI training data. The list is endless. So you can go to www.letsbot.io and you can check out all the services that we provide there. For the e-commerce industry بالتحديد, we provide services للthree pillars اللي حكيت عنهم for product listing. So be it photo editing by adding watermarks or cropping images, or changing the layout of the background. This is something that we do. And also the text, be it long description, short description, and following the SEO measures by entering the metadata for each product.
Sounds cool. I think we received a question over in the questions widget, but it disappeared. If anyone has any questions, please go ahead and drop them in the comments. Also, Charbel, there's this question that we received from one of our stores actually on how they should pay with USD or Lira in Lebanon nowadays to the freelancers. So I wanted to ask you this also during our live session. So how do you recommend they go by this?
Look, for me, fair is fair. So if you do have USD and you know the case in Lebanon, so go ahead and pay USD if you have access to it. But if you don't and you only have access to Lebanese lira, make sure that your income justifies the عم تدفع انت freelancer تبعك او للاوتسورسing agency. So make sure that you're fair بالamount اللي عم تدفعه, because it's just good karma. Yeah, if you do well, then you get well.
Exactly. Another question is, what is the best concept for a new e-commerce?
Why do you be more specific? It's a bit.
What is the best concept for a new e-commerce? So I guess, Wadia, if you can please explain a bit what you mean by this question. I guess concept by a retail store, or is it industry focused, or what do you mean by concept specifically? Idea. So what is the best idea nowadays for e-commerce? Yes, so we lost Charbel. He'll join us back in a bit. So any other questions, folks, please make sure to drop them in the comments so we can ask Charbel right now during the session. Yes, welcome back, man.
Yeah, well, sorry for that.
No problem, no problem.
I don't know what happened.
It's okay, it's okay. The question was, what is the best idea or concept for a new e-commerce business? Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you.
Okay, cool. So the question was, what is the best concept or idea for a new e-commerce business?
So بعرف إذا رجع وديع فسر
Yes.
أكتر.
Yes, he said, he's trying to figure out an e-commerce business idea. So what is your recommendation? What is the best option right now in your mind?
I think that you need to find something. يعني بصراحة I'm so proud of Lebanese of the Lebanese entrepreneurs. They're doing such a good job with products disappearing off the shelves. They're going into producing their own. So I would say if you can create a store that has all Lebanese products, from things that we use daily, from shampoos to shower gels to soap to literally everything that we need in our household. If you can find all Lebanese, let's say assembled products, because like made in Lebanon, because there's a lot of missing like primaries ومواد أولية يعني. But at least assembled in Lebanon, made in Lebanon, created by a company in Lebanon. It's very important to do so, because companies that are importing and stuff that are being imported are going bit by bit going to disappear a lot more, and shelves are going to become a bit more empty.
Cool. So focusing on supporting Lebanese products as much as possible, especially nowadays, to support the economy more and more, it would boost. It would be a cool idea to dig deep in. Another question, Charbel, is
I hope I answered
from Imad. From Imad, it's quality is a concern for me when outsourcing. How can you guarantee quality of the service provided?
So definitely guaranteeing quality is something that you can only get when you're working with an agency, because an agency does not only get you in touch with a freelancer. اللي بتعمله انه actually بتساعدك انه هي تسلم لك الجوب خالص من دون ما انت ترجع تراجعه. And ما بعرف كل الايجنسيز كيف بيشتغلوا when it comes to outsourcing، بس بقدر لكم كيف B.O.T بيشتغل، and it's an international model. We have 3 layers when it comes to actually doing the job. The freelancers that do the execute the daily task and the product listing, each group of freelancers has a supervisor on them who's more experienced and who checks each and every product listing being done. And the third layer, which are the in-house experts, these are technical individuals who actually have educational background and professional background in double checking all the job that is being done. So basically the amount of error that could be passed by one person is usually eliminated when it passes by 2 other individuals. And in some cases we are using automated methods to ensure quality. So we are developing our own artificial intelligence that can actually check the quality without human intervention, just to minimize even more and more the error, the margin of error being done, and ensure a better quality outcome.
Sounds cool. Any other questions, folks? Please make sure to drop them in the comments. In the meantime, folks, everyone, we have been trying to support small businesses at Ecommerce as much as possible. That's why we are offering you folks a 3 months free subscription on the Ecommerce platform and 20% off setting up your e-commerce store within 3 business days. To redeem this offer, all you have to do is just create an online store in Ecommerce, and our team will reach out to you for further details on the promotion itself. Other than that, this session also will be posted on IGTV, so you can also go back to our channel and watch this session and the previous sessions. And if you'd like to receive a recap on the points that Charbel has mentioned through this session, drop us a message through the DMs and we will send you a recap on the main points. We have received from Maher a question. My question is above. Maher, I'm just trying to find your question here. Maher, I can't seem to find your question within the comments. Can you please send it again?
I actually have a confession. It's my first time on going live on Instagram.
How do you feel, man?
I'm trying the effect.
Cool. Yep, this is what they look like. I never actually tried to use the effects myself on Instagram Live.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna go ahead and try a couple of them. Since we're waiting for some. Okay, that's weird. I'm just gonna stop now.
Okay. So, okay. So I guess this is it from my end. Charbel, do you have any closing points you'd like to mention to the audience?
Actually, I do. لكل عام لما احضرونا, there's also a special promotion we've created. This is also a surprise for you. For you also, Malik. We've created a special promo code for all the e-commerce peeps. So you can go ahead on our website www.letspot.io/services and so basically go ahead on our website letspot.io/services and the promo code just write ecoms and you'll get an automatic 20 to 50% discount حسب السيرفيس اللي انت اخدها. I hope this also helps, encourages Lebanese entrepreneurs to go into e-commerce and try outsourcing for the first time.
That's brilliant, man. Thank you so much for supporting the entrepreneurs here. Maher, I don't think we are receiving your question and the questions. Can you please type it in the comments?
ما في Q&A cards معقول يكون هونيك؟
هو في Q&A cards, but we haven't received any question there, so that's why I'm asking Maher. If you can please send the question in the comments. I'm sorry, man. I think there's something wrong in the question, in the questions option.
How about I reconnect personally with Maher?
Sure.
And I'll answer any question that you have. Maher, if you can just send us a quick message on letspot.io on Instagram, and I'll connect with you and I'll answer any of the questions that you have.
Cool. Okay, so that's it for today's session, Charbel. I want to thank you for your time again.
Thank you, Malik.
And thank you everyone who has watched us today, and have a great day. Cheers.
Bye-bye.